You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
Happy New Year!
This is Randy, and in the future, it'll be 2019.
You just did it.
Yeah,
No.
we're in it. This is happening. Hey, this is Randy.
It's the future.
It's the future. And this is the 2019 Grawlix podcast New Year's Eve and New Year's Day special. Actually, it'll be New Year's Day because it's the New Year's special 2019.
Ooh, we need one of those boo things.
What boo thing?
What?
Oh, one of the like party horn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll fix it in post.
Man, I don't know that. I don't know
No,
the
that's
New Year's
not
song.
actually happening.
Odd line sign. Odd line sign.
Oh, I'm glad Jesse. By the way, Jesse's here too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Jason.
here I am, kids.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, Jesse. Fix it in post. Not happening. Listener, I apologize, but this episode will not be edited.
Ooh.
This will be presented as we mumble it.
So we have to watch our F-bombs and B bullets.
F-bombs and B bullets.
Yes,
B
we
bullets
do.
is new.
We
I
do.
kind of like that one.
No, I need some B-bullet collateral damage happening here.
Yeah, I like that one. B bullet. It's fun.
So, what are we going to do this year?
Well, he's jumping right to it. Well, okay, Jesse, I know we had a conversation going the other day, which led me to believe Jesse was doing some research on our 2018 activities. But I thought the conversation was interesting because we took a look at, like, we were talking about what comics we covered in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, let's do.
Okay.
Sure.
So now, mind you, I put together, like last month, I put together an image that was all our thumbnails that I've used for the episodes.
Right.
But that's super handy because on the thumbnail, it shows the main thing we talked about that episode. So that's what I was basing my information on. I'm sure there's some other things in there that, might be a couple of comics in there that we talked about that didn't get covered. But actually, I'm actually going to pull up that conversation.
Cool.
Jesse, what kind of research did you do?
Well, I mean, I just kind of pulled up some of the different things that we kind of hit on during the year, and I kind of pulled up some of my favorite bits of the year. Because and part of the reason that I did that was would be probably about the same time this episode goes up. Also, our sister cousin family podcast. I don't know if it's a family podcast, but
that sounds not right.
Sister cousin, our sister cousin podcast. Oh yeah, no, it's incestuous.
The GCU, the Grawlix Cinematic Universe. There's also a New Year's episode for that show as well. And what you guys did was you kind of talked about some of your favorite mashups and some of your favorite things that happened on that show. So I thought, hey, I should probably take a look at what we did this year and see if there was anything I liked. and spoilers, I found things I actually like about our show.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Good.
Isn't that great?
It'd be a little upsetting if you hadn't found anything you liked about the show.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So let's hear some of these things that you enjoyed.
Okay, so some of the things that I enjoyed about the year 2018 on Grawlix podcast. Way back in February, we had Patrick from Make Dad Read Comics and Almost Educational. We had him on our show for the first time. I think that was the first time, right? We
was
talked to him before, but not. I don't think we'd ever actually had him on our show, and it was like a long time coming too. Like he had us on his show, and it was like almost a year later. Maybe not that bad, but pretty bad.
Well, I mean, it has been a long time coming because I believe I've thrown the idea at Patrick a couple times over the last 2 to 3 years, honestly. So, like, yeah, it's been a long time coming.
So
We talked about it
2018,
all
we
the
made it happen.
Yeah, we did. You're right. And that was a great episode. I thought.
Episode number 62, where we talked about Black Hammer, which coincidentally, I didn't read a lot of new things in 2018. Like, I think 2018 is the year that I got rid of my poll list. That's how bad 2018 was. But of the things that I read in 2018 that were actually current, starting in February after we read Black Hammer, I actually went back and read the rest of Black Hammer. Like, I'm current on Black Hammer, with maybe the exception of the Cthulhuese one-off that just went out. I haven't read that, but otherwise, I am current on Black Hammer, and it's my favorite thing of 2018 was Black Hammer, and it all started back in February on that show.
Nice.
Yeah. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you in February. Yes. February was your birthday.
The next thing, I mean, kind of all of our guests were awesome in 2018. You know, who all did we talk to? We talked to Patrick. We also talked about we talked to Dustin Smothers at least once, maybe more than once, and we talked about Cobra Kai, which in terms of non-comic materials, Cobra Kai is like my favorite like TV movie property of 2018. I mean, there was some great stuff that came out, but I was
gonna say that's pretty.
Still
pretty
Cobra
bold.
Kai. I still digging that.
I mean, that surprises me, but it shouldn't. It makes sense. It's totally like it was actually good, and it's totally right up your alley.
Oh, it
Yeah,
checks all my
you-
boxes, and it was well done.
All it needed was a puppet, and like.
Oh
you're
man!
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
season 2. Give it to me, please.
There better be some puppets in that
Oh
show.
my God! Can you imagine a dream sequence where Johnny has had too many Coors banquets, and it's puppet Daniel versus puppet Johnny? That could be a good way to have the Danny the Daniel Johnny fight without actually having the Danny John. I can't even say words.
Daniel.
Without having the fight.
The Jonial.
They could have the puppet fight without having the real fight.
Jonial. You're gonna bend him for Danny.
Jonial son.
Are you shipping those two? No.
Oh goodness. No, someone else has already beat me to that, I'm sure.
I was gonna say, I bet somebody is.
Yeah.
It's always good to have Dustin on the show, and you gotta find a show that Dustin is into, and he's the best guest in the world.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Was the Owlgirls guy this year or last year?
Yep,
that was this year.
Yep. That was going to be my next thing, was to talk about Robert. And
What blows my mind more, and I know I felt bad because like he'd approached us about like, hey, I wrote Owlgirls. We should, I don't know, talk or something. I should be on your show. And after we did the Owlgirls episode, and it took forever before we finally lined it up. But the Owlgirls episode itself was also this year, and I was like, God, that felt like it was so long ago.
right.
It does. It did.
It was earlier in this year, and we finally got Robert J. Sidaro is who we're talking about. He's our one interview, I think, this year.
Oh yeah, technically, yeah. Because the other guys were
I'm
just
trying
guests that just kind of guest hosted with us.
and he was our actual like a proper interview. So we talked to Robert J. Sidaro, comic book writer and author, and
Kind of a comic historian, man. He
Yeah.
knows all
Yeah.
the things.
That's what I was gonna say. He gave a lot of insight into the business more than anything, I think. And well,
in a lot of his
Connections.
writing history, that makes sense though, because a lot of his, it seems like most of his comics related writing is less on comics fiction and more on like, comics history type books and not price guides. What's the other thing?
omnibus. No,
Speculation? I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, he wrote for like magazines, comic magazines and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Kind of in that line, but not really. Like less about the content and more about the people. One thing that you guys didn't talk about in your New Year's episode, at least I don't think so, was we did a full-blown crossover Halloween special, which was probably one of my favorite things of the year.
How did we not talk about that? Oh yeah, no,
it was fun to do. I didn't really listen to it, but I bet it turned out okay.
It did
was
turn
fun.
out okay, because maybe I should not have labeled it actual play, because I don't know if it still counts as actual play, because I cut down I cut it down substantially. All the like, you know,
Oh,
the
sure.
slow stuff that goes with RPGs. But yes, our Halloween special, listener, if you have not listened to that, and you haven't, not a lot of people did.
I don't know why not.
I'm really surprised. Yeah, I don't know why not either. It's has not done as well as like a normal episode, and I'm surprised because it's
Funner?
way more
Which is
fun.
not even a word, but that's how great it is.
It's so great. It's a word that's
It invents its own words.
But yeah, we played an RPG, tabletop style RPG game, true crossover, and it went out on both feeds. But so Jasper joined us from Grawlix Cinematic Universe. Jasper joined us, and all four of us played. What's it called?
Everybody's dies.
Everybody's gonna die.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or you're all gonna die, or something like that. Everybody, whatever. Point is, everybody dies for the most part. And yeah, a horror, and I made it a slasher themed kind of horror RPG, and that was a lot of fun. Like hearing you guys like get into the characters, it's so good. It's so entertaining. Yeah, that's a great episode.
I did. You did the little excerpts from each of us when you were pimping it, and I totally didn't even remember saying mine. I'm like, did I say that? Did I actually say that?
Yeah, no, it's so great. Because your character's quote was something about
my mom taught me that girls are vulnerable or something like that to evil.
Girls are susceptible to evil.
That's what it is.
They
Which
have to
is
be
perfect for the setting. Like without spoiling it, like you got that's so perfect.
No, yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was, and again, it did not seem very popular, but man, that was such an easy episode to promote because it was so fun. There were so many good clips, and then like the horror theme was a lot of fun because I was able to find all legitimately, legally gathered public domain type images, but I found like those little thumbnails I did for the audio excerpts, like Jasper's had a trowel. Yours had was a bow and arrow, and Jesse's had a machete. I was like, I found their weapons,
Right?
and I love that Jasper's weapon was a trowel.
That's right. Oh my god.
No, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's definitely a highlight. One of my favorite moments of the year, and it took me forever to finally put the video together, but you can see it on the YouTube channel, is our 4-year anniversary episode. It was a live episode, kind of like, well, this isn't live, but it'll be kind of like this. It was live, and then we kind of put it up pretty quick online. But Jesse's gift to us was the surprise Sylvester McCoy greeting video.
That's great.
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me, and it took me like 7 months before I finally like cut the videos together so that you could watch our reaction to it. But that's up on the YouTube channel now. So that's great.
I have a note here about that for 2018. That 2018 for Grawlix was like the fall and return of the YouTube channel. Because like I think
it's no kidding.
My last video was actually like I made a point to say that it was my last video of 2017, and then I didn't make another video in 2018. Not like I didn't make a dollar bin movie. I didn't make So I mean, like we made videos, but I didn't specifically make a solo video in 2018.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, no, 2018. Well, it was the Adpocalypse.
Yeah,
through YouTube. And that hit us in that we were one of the super small channels that got demonetized entirely because you have to have so many, subscribers and stuff now.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. It's like just on the principle of it.
Yeah.
Because I put like, we have hundreds of videos. Like, I mean, all of our, at that point, all of our episodes are on there as well, and people might not be as into that because it's audio. But like we have hundreds of videos on there over the course of a couple of years, and it's like, I know I'm not making money, but clearly we're putting effort into this, so just the idea would be nice, YouTube. So I got real butthurt about it, and I was like, I'm done with the YouTube channel.
Right. And I guess I was too.
And I think Jesse and I feed off of each other a lot in terms of that, because like when he'll do a video, like he'll do a Facebook Live, or he'll do like the YouTube, when he was doing the YouTube videos, I'll see it and I'll be like, man, I really should do that. I should do a Facebook Live.
yeah.
I should do some YouTube videos. And I know sometimes I'll do a video and just be like, that video is pretty good. I should put up a video. So like,
Yeah.
you know, we kind of feed off of each other. So then when we drop out, like we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And then like Jesse said, the return. Yeah. I decided to get over my butt hurt, and which is such an unpleasant saying, but it's so amusing to me.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to catch up with getting our back episodes that weren't uploaded. But also the gameplays have come back.
Yeah.
And
they're awesome.
I'm trying to recruit more Grawlix people into the gameplays, and so I'm excited. I'm currently doing Dredd vs. Death, a Judge Dredd gameplay. And at this point I've been doing like a chapter per episode. And I think there's 11 chapters in the game. And I already have a one-off episode of this other game in reserve, uploaded and ready to go. But it's scheduled for after the Dredd stuff, so like in February. So I have some stuff lined up.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Also, the YouTube channel actually had a huge boom about a month or two ago. It was probably leading up to October, but like for a couple months, in which our subs doubled, and it was all on that one horror movie video.
Yeah.
The 6 creepy videos you might not have you might have missed, like. At one point, apparently the YouTube algorithm grabbed onto it and was suggesting it to people, and we got just a huge influx. And so that kind of helped to revitalize my interest in it.
Yeah.
Sure.
We should do some more of those.
We need to do more of those because I know all those subscribers are probably wanting more of that, and I'm not uploading. I haven't. They take time though.
Yeah.
Gameplay videos I don't have to write. Like they take time because I do like the new ones. I've been, I'll edit and I'll kind of fix up here and there, but I don't have to do any prep for the gameplay. And that's kind of what slows me down on the horror lists, even though they're lists, but
I'll help you sometime.
We should do some horror list videos like an episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah.
I think
we did. I think that's how we started. Like we would do a couple list episodes. We haven't done that in a while.
I remember us doing our favorite scary movies at one point in time.
Yeah.
We each had a list. That was good. Oh, and I have a new thing that I popped in my head like seconds ago, or maybe a minute, that I think we should do. I think we should add another Grawlix member, but we should do like a call out to the universe for it, because it should be a girl. We can lie and say it's like an honor Doctor Who or some crap like that, but really it's just because I want a girl that's not somebody's girlfriend that needs to be on the show.
You make
and
a valid
that's
point.
a me thing.
Okay, so this is an interesting thing. We were watching an Achievement Hunter YouTube channel video, or maybe it was a Let's Play YouTube channel video, and they were playing. It doesn't matter what they were playing, but they were playing a game, and there was a woman. Normally it's Sausage Fest. It's all guys.
Yeah.
But there was a woman playing with them, and Melanie goes, "Whose girlfriend is she?" and I cracked up. I was like, "Why does it have to be? She can't just be." And Melanie's like, "No, I mean, I want her to just be a woman."
Yeah.
But she's probably not. And I'm like, "Yeah, no, she's somebody's wife. She's one of their wives." And she's like, "See, I knew it." And so
even me, I'm somebody's girlfriend.
I
I'm
was
not
gonna say
just me.
podcasts have that same issue, man.
So I want somebody that's not somebody's girlfriend to be on our show.
Okay, like regularly.
Maybe. I mean, it depends on if they're cool or not.
Are you trying to find your replacement?
Oh no.
She's trying to find mine.
I was gonna say, are you trying to find my replacement?
You brought a Jasper. I can find a cool, not connected to anybody chick.
I brought a Jasper. What you got?
Go fish.
You're right. I should have sought out a woman for. I could search out a woman for GCU. You'd be jealous.
That would have been so weird. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna start this podcast with this girl."
No, it's funny because she's kind of right. You see that a lot. Anytime there's, not anytime, but oftentimes, if it's something like a podcast or gaming videos or whatever, where it's usually you see men. If there's a female, oftentimes she's connected with somebody.
Yeah, it's a significant other or yeah.
Now, I will say, I'm trying to think of exceptions, and there are. God, I shouldn't stop bringing this podcast up because I don't need to offer other podcasts free promotion, especially when they're not super great about interacting in the slightest. Pop Culture Roll Call, actually, one of their hosts is female, and as far as I know, she doesn't have any kind of she's not like anybody's girlfriend or wife. So, well, I mean, she is, but not anybody on the show.
Sure. I mean, there are shows out there where the main host is female, and so it's not even an issue. But specifically when it's a group, that's where you run into that.
But Melanie pointed it out when we were watching this video, and I thought it was so funny because it's right. That's right. You do see it a lot. Even one of the other gaming channels. I don't watch a lot of gaming channels, honestly. There's like 2 or 3 maybe I'll watch. One of the other ones, Funhouse, also has. Well, actually, they have another woman on there now. But for the longest time, they had one woman, and she's like my favorite person on there. She's very funny, but she is married to one of the other guys. So you do see that a lot, where like, I think more than anything, it's a matter of like, how do people how do people know people? How are people connected? And of course, people get married, so sometimes that's how they know each other. So
right. Well, and that's it's a good opportunity to do like something together to create to create this thing together, and it's a bonding experience. So I get it.
It's like Melanie on this show.
Yeah.
She's who I know. Who do I know? I know Jesse. I know Melanie. Well, there we go.
Well, and it's good. We break up the echo chamber, man, because like a lot of the things that you like, I like. So it's not like we're going to have a lot of conflict or dissent on things. We'll have differing opinions, but like by and large, we're both superhero guys. So
it's true. And I mean, we do.
That's our favorite one. Do. we
try
do.
We will occasionally do episodes where it's just you and I, either because Melanie's not available, or it's some special episode where you and I want to talk about something that Melanie's not interested in. So you do get to see the difference between Randy and Jesse, and then the whole Grawlix crew.
Yeah,
and Melanie definitely will add. She adds unexpected stuff to it that she's a box of surprises and fun, she says.
This is true.
And oftentimes when we get messages and stuff, emails and whatnot, Melanie's the one who gets named specifically by people. People enjoy her.
It's like if you macaroni and cheese is fine, but you throw some spice on that macaroni and cheese, and it's like, whoa, that's different. That's she's the spice.
That's a spicy macaroni and cheese.
That's a spicy macaroni and cheese. I was not ready for that. It's not a perfect metaphor, but
it is a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
So, wow, that was quite the side tangent.
All about YouTube.
Right? Oh yeah, that's how we how we got there.
I don't know.
I was trying to remember how we got there.
I don't even know.
So, what are my other favorite moments of 2018?
I was going to say about, us being real people and all, we actually were all real people in the same room this year. That was right. That was a highlight of 2018 in Comic-Con 2018. We were all in the same room at the same time.
And there's visual proof.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Don't look at it though, because I don't look very good.
You look fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's a picture. There's a picture of us all. I feel like that's up on social.
It's gotta be, because I saw it.
Yeah, I think on the Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also I included it in an animated clip I did of one of our episodes.
I think I saw that.
Yep.
Wow.
I also released, it took a while. It was a couple months too late, but I released a complete, like the full animated episode of episode 74, I think. Mm-hmm. Just because I, for whatever reason, decided I was going to animate the whole episode. Mm-hmm. Mind you, not like hand animated. It's my automated, like, make the cartoon characters' mouths move to the volume.
Your cartoon puppets.
My cartoon puppets. You're right. They are.
Yeah.
But I did, like, for whatever reason, go through the whole episode and do the cut to different angles and stuff. Mm-hmm. for the whole episode.
The thing where we turn and look at each other.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I finally put that up on YouTube, so you can go and watch us, cartoon characters of us do a whole episode.
I've got another idea. I'm full of ideas today. Let's move on though. We don't need to talk about my ideas.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah, sure. I think every once in a while we should do a Grawlix Kids episode, and we should have a kid read a comic and then come in and talk to us about it.
I always wanted to do that with Gabe. He's getting
Yeah.
older now. He probably doesn't really care about comics.
Oh,
well, he didn't
he's
care.
all into comics now.
Is he?
Yeah. He's always asking me, what's your favorite Marvel character? What's your favorite Marvel villain? What's your favorite DC villain? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't care. Come on.
What do you think? I'm some kind of nerd? I need to go record the Grawlix podcast now with these nerds.
I want to talk about something like Chew, where there are no true heroes or true villains.
Yeah. Well,
Plug for our January episodes. Do.
Bump. Actually, now that Gabe's older, he'd probably be better on the podcast, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
He's
should have
not,
Gabe
he's
on
not as
sometime.
much of a little poop anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know, little kids, you get on. They'll be entertaining on a podcast for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, okay.
Well,
kid.
yeah, I'm not saying we need to have him on like.
Okay,
forever.
kid, get out of here. You're bothering me. You should record a little, like a remote segment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With
I'm not
him.
saying bring him here.
Okay.
Well, we could do other kids too. There's other kids that we could ask.
I don't
I know kids.
You know lots of kids. I don't know kids, so.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I bet Jesse knows a lot of kids too.
Okay, Jesse knows a lot of kids too.
Yeah. I'm trying not to cross-pollinate my endeavors, though, here.
That's probably a wise decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if Patreon's got issues with us, I don't want to test those
Exactly.
waters.
All right.
But I mean,
you
like,
know
that's
what?
kind of a good segue of what are we looking forward to in 2019?
2019. Wow. I had to sit there and think, like, what are we looking forward to?
Like, what do we want to do? You know, I mean, that's,
Dude,
that's the thing.
Oh, 2019 is going to be the year we blow up or implode. Either way.
Either way, there's going to
2019
be explosion.
2019 is actually going to be like a huge year. First off, I want to make a super like serious push on more interview and guest episodes.
Silver cereal.
Because those are, okay, first off, they're fun.
Yeah.
And like it's something, like if I look back on the last almost 5 years, wow. The last almost 5 years of podcast. Yeah, listener, did I blow your mind? We've been doing this for almost 5 years. Religiously.
Yeah.
Like clockwork.
Yeah. We have not
Don't worry
only
about
not missed an episode, we've added extra episodes.
We consistently added extra. By the way, did we mention we put out 8 episodes this in December? 8.
You were too busy to notice because it's December and there's things to do. But
Yeah.
we were busy too.
What? There were 8 episodes.
Were they episodes or were they things?
Even the things were episodes.
Oh, okay.
So including this, okay, correction. I'm when I think of like Grawlix episodes as a whole, I include GCU in there because it's all
sure.
like part of my
Okay.
same workflow, basically.
Right.
But the Grawlix family as a whole, we did our 4 regular episodes. 2 this episode and the GCU New Year's Eve episode, which is dropping on the same day, which is also probably not a good decision, but it's happening. Wow, 2 separate episodes dropping on the same day. and 2 pre-show episodes, which are both the Grawlix pre-show was over 30 minutes long last month. So I consider those like the Grawlix pre-show is its own episode. I was thinking about this not long ago. We have in-jokes that we only do, we have callbacks and in-jokes that are contained completely to the pre-show episode. Like it's got its own jokes.
Oh, for
Yeah, I
sure.
know.
Yeah.
So it's its own thing.
Yeah.
We dropped a lot of episodes in December, but I'm looking backwards. I need to look forwards.
Yeah.
I need to keep on track.
Well, real quick, a side note to that tangent.
Yes.
Because we need another tangent off the tangent. When did GCU start? Did it start in 2018?
GCU started in 2018. So the Grawlix family grew in
It
2018
doubled
as well.
You know?
It birthed a big, bouncy baby boy that likes to sit there and on the couch and play games.
It sit there and play games and talk about what if we put this movie with this movie.
Yes.
And that's where it all started.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that too. We did a lot of cool stuff in 2018.
We did. It was a big year. And
did a
it's
lot of
just
stuff.
surprising, it's like I think about, like, I didn't make a lot of content for the YouTube channel or that, but we did a lot of things. And we did do more Facebook Lives and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like we weren't, even though we weren't making content for one platform, it didn't mean we weren't making extra content for others.
You know what we didn't do?
What?
Talk about Batman.
Right? This is
Yeah.
almost the year without Batman. Like the only legitimate, we would have little conversations, but the only episode that we actually talked about any Batman at all was episode 76, where we talked about Trinity, and that Batman was a weirdo creeper.
Yeah, we had trouble. We had issues with that Batman. The only Batman we talked about was the one that we were like, this isn't Batman. There's something wrong with this guy. Why is he trying to sexually assault Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Stop it, Batman. Hashtag not my Batman, me too.
Hashtag Bat2. No Batman.
Bat2C.
No, that doesn't work. Bat2. Oh, Bat2C. What was Adam West trying to tell us?
What was he? Yeah. Look out for those Batmans.
So this is actually when I, Jesse, you mentioned this in a comment the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I started to look at like what books we'd actually covered, it kind of blew my mind because we only covered 2 DC books in all of 2018, which is amazing because, I like DC books. So
Right.
we only covered 3 Marvel books. For as much as we were complaining about like how much Marvel was on the list, we only covered 3 of them.
That's because the people know it's good.
They know what's
Well, we
good.
did I don't remember exactly when in the year we did it, but we did a big call out like, save us from the Marvel and DC. We need more indie books. And you know what? People came through because we covered 9 indie books last year, including several of Melanie's like absolute favorite, Transmetropolitan.
Yep, I love it.
And others.
And others.
I don't have the list in front of me, so
We even did some indie books that none of us had ever read, like
Yeah.
Black Sad.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Oh yeah, both of those were Black Sad and Black Hammer. I was not familiar with either of them, and they were both recommendations from essentially from Patrick.
Yeah.
We read some like hard like indie books with Owl Girls and what was the other one? Vengeance Nevada.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I like those. That's what I would like to do more in 2019, if we can. It's like smaller or newer.
Dude, I get sent those stuff. I get sent. And not to say this in like a demeaning way, but smaller, like very small indie books, review copies all the time.
And that's what I like. That's what we should do. Or maybe not the main episode, but
Well, okay. So 2019. Sorry, go ahead.
I will read.
How about this? Okay, I want to be better about responding to, because I always feel bad when I don't review one of these books. Of course, you can solicit me to review your thing, and there's no guarantee it's going to happen at all up to this point. But I want to be better about doing that. I always feel bad because it's like, you know what? I get it. Like, it's cool that you're sending me this thing for free. You're like, hey, read this, talk about it, whatever. So I want to be better about responding to that.
I feel like that's kind of our hopes and theme for the new year is having more actual people that did things. and not to say that the other stuff we read doesn't have actual people in it, but like they're often fed, like that's their job based on another company's whims, we're going to pay you to write Spider-Man. So that's what you do now, right? As opposed to creators out there who are creating their own passion projects.
Well, and I think that's one thing about the last year is in partially where Grawlix suffered a bit, and it's mostly my attention and schedule. A little bit of Melanie's too, I suppose. But in regards to like what Jesse was saying, like we used to do webcomic stuff and we don't do that anymore. And that was like, it was great having communication with like quote unquote the webcomic industry, like a community as a whole. Yeah. And we did do some indie stuff, like I said, but I also said, like, I do get sent fairly often review stuff that I just kind of have to like, okay, I'll just, great, thanks. And then it's just gone. Like I forget about it.
Right.
And then interview opportunities or guest opportunities, like that's always been a problem for us just because scheduling is hard. So that's something I'd want to do better. And also, for the most part, 2018 was kind of the year without comics for me. I read very little beyond our pull list comics.
Right.
And that kind of bums me out a little bit. So I need to do it. Like, I can fit that into my schedule. I just need to do it.
Speaking of, I don't know if you do too, but I need something to help me manage my time. I need a time management something. And nothing that I've tried has worked.
It's called a new job. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the same problem with me. It's not like I don't ever have downtime. And I know you do too. You paint and do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to like then say during this downtime, I'm going to, instead of working on this or binging through this show, I'm going to read this comic. Because that's pretty much what I do. It's either I'm working on something, either work related or non-paid work like Grawlix stuff, or I'm watching Netflix, and that's kind of like my time now. So I just
watching entire seasons.
Okay. Work was slow at that point. All right. Like, I think you could tell what Randy's workload is like depending on how many shows he's watching. And right now, like, I'm only a couple episodes into, like, I haven't been getting very far. So
yeah,
I haven't been watching a whole lot because I've been busy. So there was a period where I was not that busy and I was devouring entire series.
Freaking Buffy and Angel. Ugh.
I can't believe I blew through Buffy and Angel so fast. I'm glad, though. God, that was good stuff.
Ugh.
Good stuff.
I like Joss Whedon, but
2018 was the year I rediscovered Buffy and discovered Angel for the first time, even though he's still not a great character. But that show is so good.
Yeah, the show is great. The show is so much better than
I can't
its
believe
namesake.
Buffy, because I watched it during its first initial run. I can't believe Buffy like evolved into the show it became, and I just never knew. Like, I never knew about it. It becomes a completely different show.
Oh yeah.
Like season, 5 happens? It's completely different. It changes everything.
Right.
Baby, it changes everything. She's
Okay.
looking at me. She's giving me this look. She looks almost disgusted. She's smiling. She doesn't want to be rude, but she looks almost disgusted. I could see
Captain Jack Harkness warned us about this. You got to be
it.
ready.
Season 5 changes everything. Okay. Anyway, 2019. So, in addition to all the stuff we already said, Grawlix Podcast is going to hit episode 100 this year.
Right.
woo! We're gonna be old.
We're going to be old. I've been waiting for this. By the time we get to it, it'll be 5.5 years, 5.5 plus years.
Then wait, can we go into syndication or something? That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just going to start rerunning episodes
Just
now.
reruns, yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a listener, if you're not like a long-time listener, you're like, why did it take you so long to get to episode 100? For the first, it wasn't till, was it 2017? Or was it wasn't 2018, was it? When we changed our release
Format.
schedule?
No, we've been doing 2 for a while. So
Okay, 2 years then we've been doing. Yeah, for the first like 3 years, we were 1 episode a month. They were epic episodes. They were huge. They're like typically 3 hours long at least.
Yeah.
Which
so
is-
basically, we're doing the same thing now. It's just we split it into
We
two.
just cut it in half and release it later. Yeah. Instead of 2 episodes a month. So that's why it took so long. But we'll finally be hitting episode 100, and I've got plans. Will they pan out like the way I want? I hope so.
I hope so too.
Okay, well, I got you guys on board, and I think that's an important step. Writing it, I don't want to give too much away, but writing it is going to be tricky. I think recording it's going to be tricky too, because I feel like the best way to do it is to kind of know what we want, but improv through it, so it still sounds like us.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't sound like we're reading a script kind of thing.
Yeah. Except in parts where where like that's the point, because I want a Jesse villain. I want a Swamp Thing style Jesse villain.
Yeah.
Because that was so great.
Well, you can't give it away, baby.
I mean, yep.
That just jumped off the table.
It did. Okay. Anyway, we have big plans. that I think if we pull it off the way I want, I think it's going to be amazing.
It's something everyone can enjoy.
Yeah.
Sounds
it's
exciting.
great.
I mean, like some of this stuff is just born naturally out of none of the stuff that we would have ever expected when we started this show. You know, like when we started the show, was there a Blinkatron? Nope. That didn't even happen on the show. Like it was born out of side silliness.
Yeah, it wasn't even like promos for the show. It was your like submissions to other podcasts. You used this like come up with this concept, and then we pulled it into Grawlix.
Yeah, it was like, all right, we've got this strange little sci-fi thing that we reference once in a while, and it's awesome.
Oh, I need to do more time travel promos too. I know I keep saying that, but also at some point, I think it was this year, I revamped one of our really older episodes because there was some mistake in it that had sat there for years. Mm-hmm. And I inserted a time travel segment from now. Like,
oh, that's right. You said that, and I still haven't.
You haven't sought it out?
I should look for it, but it's like, oh man, there's 80 plus episodes now. Like, oh yeah,
no, which one is it?
Yeah.
I'll go take note of which one. I'll have to look at the episode files themselves and let you know. Because yeah, I inserted modern Randy recording, like I interact with us from the past, and it's like actually like cut it together with us from the past, so that we're actually talking, like I'm talking to us.
That's awesome. For
the most part, it works pretty well. You can kind of tell, but it works pretty well. And yeah, I put that in like it must have been a year, maybe a year 2 episode.
So would it have been would Matt D have found it then, or would this have been after he did his
I feel like it was something I was hoping. I think it might have been just after he got through.
Oh, no. Okay. So no one's heard it unless they just started.
Yeah. I also love that Matt D found us and listened through all our back episodes. That blows my mind.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that's always kind of been part of my thing with Grawlix is, we're not timely, but I kind of like, that's okay. I think that works to our benefit. I think it gives us it gives our back episodes a longer lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Because there's, of course, we're going to hit on things that are relevant at the time, but for the most part, it's not all just like recent stuff. You're not going to be lost if you listen to an episode a year later as to what we're talking about, because we're just reviewing a thing or discussing a thing. So
yeah,
I've always liked that about Grawlix.
Except TV shows.
Yeah, TV shows, I guess the TV shows are a little dated more when we review TV shows. Okay. We've been doing a lot of TV shows, so this is something that so I kind of like the idea of like first episode of the month we do TV or something, and then we do a comic show. But I'm kind of toying with the idea maybe we should really push back towards comics. Yeah. And especially Melanie, since you mentioned like you like doing the smaller indie stuff. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should, when possible, kind of relegate first episode to smaller indie stuff.
And it may only be an issue or two or something, so that we can make it happen.
Yeah.
But
we can still.
And in fact, it'd be preferable if it was just like the first issue or something. But
and then we can still, fit in some TV talk or something to round out the episode. So yeah,
I think you should. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything because I am a horrible procrastinator and I don't like to communicate with people. But maybe send me emails of the emails you get so I can help with your workload, or you know what I mean.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can help because I can't do things technically, but
there are PDF files of review copies sitting in your Dropbox that you asked me to send you months ago.
No, dude, where?
In the Dropbox where I put all of our comics.
I went and cleaned out the Dropbox.
Well, maybe you deleted them. No, I don't know. There was a couple things I noticed in there not long ago.
Okay, I'll have to look through it again.
It's all good.
Okay.
Wow, this got into a lot more like shop talk behind the scenes a little bit than I expected, but that's all right.
You know what this is kind of like? This is kind of like a pre-show, which you could find at patreon.com, where we have tons of pre-show, and you can kind of hear a spitball like this. But we're a little more focused on this show than we are on the pre-show, in that like we're actually telling you things that we're legitimately going to attempt to do on this, where the pre-show you don't always get that. We make no promises with the pre-show. With the pre-show, we're just saying the words that came to our brains.
Oh yeah, the pre-show especially, none of that is binding.
One of the things though that we had kind of talked about, and if this is no longer true, then just cut this out because I know how much you want to edit this episode. But in 2018, just another slight look back to look forward. We stopped. It's a silly thing, but some people may have noticed that we changed our naming structure for the episodes, like the titles of the episodes.
Oh yeah, I'm still on track for this.
Okay.
Continue on.
So like if you look back at the Transmetropolitan episode, instead of calling it episode number 67 Transmetropolitan, we called it obscene insult poetry. We would come up with titles based on the content of the episode, and we tried to go with the boring, normal, good search engine optimization title where we would just say what it was we did. So it was Grawlix number. Whatever, like number 68 would have been Jessica Jones season 2 or whatever. Instead, it's Pretendicon 2018. So we went,
which tells the listener nothing.
Exactly. So what are we going to?
Literally, an off in joke in the episode, but yeah.
So we're gonna do both. Going forward, 2019, we're not just gonna tell you what it's about. We're going to do both. We've decided that we're going to take on a new naming structure, which is going to be loosely based on Harry Potter titles.
At least for a while until I have a hard time coming up with one, and then I'll be like, it's just going to be whatever now.
Stay with us, listeners. Stay with us. So how that will work is then it's going to be kind of like, we'll take what we're talking about and then also throw in an in joke. So how you have Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets, it'll be like so Grawlix whatever chew and the bubblegum of woes or something. I don't know what that I have no idea what that episode is going to entail, but something to that effect.
Well, most likely I can tell you right now my plans for the next episode of Grawlix podcast, which will be out in, just a week. Wait, yeah, it'll be out in just a week, I believe. Will be something along the lines of Sabrina and the return to the fun titles or something like that.
Oh, fun.
Just to announce that, we're back to the, fun titles. Because, that was my brainchild. I don't remember if I mentioned it on a pre-show or if it was mentioned on an actual episode. But at one point I was like, maybe we should try this. Search exactly SEO, search engine optimization. And then also when you look at the episode title, you'd be like, oh, they're talking about Tank Girl or whatever.
Made sense.
Doctor Who. Yeah. And I was like, well, maybe that'll help, boost the numbers and get some more listeners. So Melanie rolled her eyes just now. Quite the opposite. I found we've shed a few listeners since then. So I'm like, you know what? That was lame. Let's go back to fun titles.
Yeah, because who doesn't love cat dancing and spider buggy,
dude,
and all that happy jazz?
That's another thing. Not that there hasn't been good in jokes from 2018, but how many do you remember offhand?
I don't know what year is what. Everything blurs into the other. I have no clue.
Well,
when
basically, spider buggy. You want to be a spider buggy bonsai, wet carpet rebirth.
That's blanket, baby, wet blanket.
Oh, wet blanket. Cat dancing, bat dancing, thinks abomination. All that stuff that's all 2017 and earlier. I was thinking about this the other day. All of our super memorable inside jokes that we've latched onto for years that most listeners are probably like, what are they talking about? That's all it's been a while since we had new ones.
Well,
and I think part of that
sounds like a challenge.
Part of that, part of that might be because we don't do the fun episode titles anymore. Maybe because that kind of helped to reinforce this funny thing we said. Because a lot of times that would become the title or incorporated into the title. Mm-hmm. So.
Actually, the last one I think that I still reference is something that people like. It was actually at the beginning of 2018.
Was it?
Episode 60 was our New Year's episode, and then 61 was something that people like. And then we're like, oh, he must do things that people like.
Yeah, you're right. That does get referenced fairly often. Oh, this is a horrible idea, Melanie.
Oh, fine.
She's going for caramel popcorn. That's gonna be. This
is our New Year's celebration, man.
You know what?
I asked if you had cheese, and that would help me earlier.
I do have cheese, but go ahead and eat it.
No,
Jesse's right. This is our celebration.
I'll eat cheese. Where's the cheese?
This episode's almost done.
I want to cut some cheese.
You want to cut? Wow. Yep, this episode's almost over.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy New Year. Oh, there was just one other thing I was hoping to push more of, and I know like I could only do like I'm being a little ambitious here. I understand. More gameplay videos, more interviews, more this, more that, and eventually it's like, no, Randy, when are you gonna?
You're lucky you get a monthly episode.
Yeah. But Facebook Lives, and specifically something I was kind of excited for that I don't know if it's going to happen now, but I'd like to still do it. It's just a matter of like doing it. Was the like watch parties in the Facebook group and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we were even thinking about if we do like because Buffy, Angel, and Firefly, classic Joss Whedon TV series, the entire series you can watch for free on Facebook. Like it's streaming available on Facebook. And you could do like watch parties where basically you can all like it's synced up for everybody, but you can watch an episode and like there's a chat thing going on. So we had talked about possibly doing basically kind of like a live viewing through like slowly through the Firefly series.
Because that's the one I watch.
And maybe even setting up like a Discord server or something and recording kind of commentaries just for fun.
Yeah.
Like, man, Friday nights are about the best time for me to do that. But you always seem busy on Fridays.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, that's because I do everything that I need to get done before I come over here.
But anyway, that's another thing. Like that kind of thing is stuff we were talking about doing more. So like, I think that'd be fun. We might do some of that in 2019.
Yeah.
Might play with the Facebook Live a little bit here and there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that content will be. It's going to continue to probably be fast and loose the way it has been. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, we're going to do a thing and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. But that's what you come to expect from our Facebook videos.
I can do that from work, so that'll work for me too.
What, Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll be watching me, but that's okay.
I think I need to push myself to relegate. I know Friday's not the best time for live stuff for other people, but yeah, Fridays maybe I'll push myself to, even if we don't like line up like one of the Firefly things, a random Facebook Live video, or I'll shout out Jesse, be like, hey, what are you doing? Are you sitting at home with nothing to do? Let's do a little Facebook Live. Like I need to make a point to like, that should become a Friday thing or Saturday or whatever.
Sure.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Inevitably, there is a night where I don't want to go out at all. So this is perfect for that.
I was going to say, we're all, kind
of hermity
home every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So
I'm home every night. That's not to say I'm not I'm available though. But Friday nights and not Saturdays only because that's when I hang out with you, Melanie.
Yeah.
But Friday nights is like the only time in the evening where I'm not bound to like work. Otherwise I work usually at that time. So point is more interviews, more live stuff, more gameplay.
And we're going to do finales. No, wait, that's the other show.
Gosh.
That's the other show.
That's the other show.
That's coming up though. That's going to be awesome.
It is. The next GCU episode is season 2 finale. And I actually, maybe only for a week, but I actually might take a season break, like an in-between season break.
Yeah.
Especially after December, and I did not realizing we were putting 8 episodes together. I was like, yeah, wow, I might take a break because the second episode for January of GCU would fall on my birthday. And initially I was like, yeah, I'll put out a birthday episode. And now I'm like, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Why would I make more work for Happy birthday, Randy. More work.
Here's something to edit.
I did that for Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's now.
Yeah.
Don't need to do it for my birthday.
No.
Yeah.
Or Melanie's
Give yourself
birthday.
the gift of time.
One other thing I want to say about 2018,
Yeah.
another favorite moment that I forgot about was the Valentine's Day episode. Melanie and I recorded a little quick impromptu Valentine's Day episode where we talked about listener. You like listening to Melanie? You want to learn more about her? Go listen to that episode. It's the Grawlix Bites episode from last year, or this year. It's great. We discovered all about Melanie's past, and it's just an incredible insight into Melanie, how she treats her things, more stuff about sock monkeys.
Yeah.
And I think we'd probably talk about gnomes. Oh, that was a Matt D. Gnome episode, too.
Oh, that's right.
That was another thing. The Matt D. Gnome episodes. There were a couple of those where he'd send us audio of Jerry the Gnome.
Yeah, wasn't he gonna go on and like make something like a?
Yeah, I think
book
he's writing stuff. He sent us a draft of something that he had written.
It was awesome too. It was good.
Yeah, like I hope he does have time to kind of someday finish it up. But like he's a family man. He's got stuff to do, so I get it. But yeah, he was putting together like a audio drama style thing of Jerry the Gnome.
That's awesome.
I hope you're still doing that, Matt. And if not, it's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Jerry the Gnome.
More Jerry the Gnome. But yeah, now we're promising stuff that we can't promise at all.
This is stuff for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. More Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah. No pressure, Patrick, but yeah.
More Dusty?
Dustin?
Dustine?
Dustine? More Dustine?
Who else is a commoner?
Oh my gosh. A commoner?
You know what I mean.
Like a regular? A reoccurring person?
Yeah.
Yes, a reoccurring.
Well, it's like Patrick's only ever been on the show once, but we talk about him all the time.
Oh,
yeah. Or Matt D, has never been on the show.
Was there somebody named Scott at some point that we...
No.
Are you sure?
No, I don't think there's ever.
I don't know any Scots.
There's never been a Scott. No, I don't think there's a Scott. I'm not sure who you're
Punky
thinking.
Brewster?
Well, I used to call Matt D lots of weird things.
Spunky D.
That might be him.
Spunky D.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple times I think I called him Matty Double D's. Which is probably rude, but Matt has a pretty good sense of humor.
Come be our listener and we'll make fun of you in your name.
Berate you. Oh, this is... Okay. I feel like... I don't know if the audience has caught this at all, but I just wanted to mention this because it amused me. A couple episodes ago on GCU, I ended it by telling the listeners, I was like, it'd be better.
Yes, that was a good one.
And Jasper goes, whoa. And I was like, just mean, not the listener, just people in general. And he's like, what? Listeners aren't people? I go, listeners aren't people to me, or something like that. And that's how I ended the episode.
That's right. Yeah, you guys.
Yes,
those are super fun.
So, listener, I feel the same disdain for you. No, there's no disdain. I just like doing that. We do tend to, even on Grawlix, we tend to berate the listeners quite a bit. It's because we love you.
Yeah,
and we don't believe you're real.
You're real.
We don't believe you're actually people.
No, you're just us, like listening to the same thing over and over. That's all.
Yeah, we are our own.
Yeah,
downloads.
maybe. Yeah, I'm sure. At least one of the downloads is to me.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of downloads for Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what else to add to this. We probably should have ended this episode a while ago.
I think so. I think this is a full-blown episode. It was supposed to be a mini episode. It's about a regular length.
It really is.
Dang it.
It is regular length. It's been like an hour.
We just can't help it.
We can't.
We
Once we get going.
And we're supposed to record 2 more episodes today. Ooh. Yeah. Shoot is right.
Melanie voiced actual pain there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we...
Let's
end this episode before we talk about further plans.
Yeah, end this episode. I'm gonna go smoke and eat some cheese, and then we'll do it.
There we
go. Smoke some cheese.
Gouda.
Give me some of that Swiss. Okay, listener, thank you for listening. Wow, another year, and I know some of you guys have been listening to us for a couple of years, so we appreciate it. We appreciate it a lot. And I am truly excited for 2019 and all the stuff we got planned. And even if we don't get to half the stuff that we have planned, it's still going to be awesome because we have like some awesome stuff planned. So
yes,
planned plans.
Our centennial
plans?
is coming up. I mean, you can bet on it.
You know what we didn't do? Resolutions.
We did. We have
lied.
one resolution, and that is we're going to change the way we name stuff.
Our resolution: more fun titles, more interviews, more guests, more gameplay videos, more Facebook Live, more commentary episodes. That's
My resolution is we won't suck. There you go.
My resolution is to actually make a YouTube video in 2019.
it.
All right, just one.
And I'm gonna read comics. Maybe.
It's like the Lent thing, like the reverse of the Lent thing. Like, what are you gonna give up? And you give up like the least offensive thing, you know, like I'm gonna give up sleeping in. Like, wait a minute.
I'm not giving up sleeping in. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean for Lent, like it was like,
I'm gonna give up cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh
give up
darn!
Brussels sprouts for Lent. like that's our resolutions. I'm going to eat breakfast in 2019.
All right. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, they say.
Yep.
But I also have heard that is a lie that some
That the
campaign-
breakfast
it's a camp-
company
Yeah.
breakfast
It is exactly that one.
Not the war on breakfast.
is a war on breakfast. You're just perpetuating the myths and the lies and the propaganda.
Man, we had
Wait,
some
no.
really good advertisers in the past because breakfast, bacon and eggs is part of that breakfast,
Yeah.
and diamonds. Diamonds are not rare at all. So it's a
Big
lie.
Diamond.
You know what?
Fly.
I feel like one of the things we need to incorporate in 2019 is basically steal the GCU ending, where you just have music playing. It starts to play over us until we shut up.
That's
Until we
a
just
great
shut
idea.
No, you're right. It'll be the big whatever segment. It'll just be us ranting about something until the music drowns us out.
Yeah. Do it now.
But that would replace the movie quotes.
Well,
Uh-oh.
we'll put the movie quotes. We'll put the movie quotes wherever we want the movie quotes.
I feel like that's some
And then-
ominous foresight.
But, you know, maybe yeah. Maybe we should we'll just switch the we will steal the GCU outro style. And then GCU will take the movie quotes because that kind of makes sense.
That actually
That's a
does
better
make
idea.
sense, and make Jasper do some of that work.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, season 3 of GCU means I have to switch up the intro again a little bit because we switched from him having the improv part to me having the improv part.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
We are,
Yeah, the first season I would start it so that when it'd be like we talked about 2 movies, and then Jasper would have to like come up with some random thing, and we switched it for season 2.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
it already faded out.
What?
They don't want to hear about this. It faded out.
See, we did it now. That was the fade out.
Perfect.
Okay.
My body is not nice to me sometimes.
It's because you're a woman.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
We need
now.
more
I need
of
to work
that.
to undo any of the goodwill that we just might have done by praising you and women.
Yeah.
Did we praise women? I don't know.
It doesn't matter because we do have menstrual cycles, and anything that you do isn't going to make up for that.
Anything that we do isn't going to make up for that.
Never.